Clerk Paul, can we call the committee hold to order, please?
Lennon.
Here.
Roywood.
Here.
Leisure.
Here.
Fate.
Here.
Pabon.
Here.
Ruiz. Aaronella.
Here.
Carmichael.
Here.
7 present, Mayor.
I'll make a motion to excuse Alderman Ruiz.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Fate to excuse Alderman Ruiz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. So we have on the open agenda for this evening, we have the engagement letter for the design, architecture, and construction management of the dispatch police department and the build out of the fire department and the parking area and the maintenance garage. Ruth, City Administrator Ruth Ciaba Green is going to lead off the conversation.
Good evening, Council. Pleasure to be here tonight. And I put out on your desk, if you can take a look, there is an update regarding the American Rescue Plan. I first introduced this to Council last October. Since then, there have been a few updates and changes. The U.S. Department of Treasury did come out with the final ruling finally in January, so we've been updated with that. And our second parts of the funds are expected this June, so that will be the second half of the $31,943,759. So that's expected next month. And our timeline, once again, we have to obligate all of these funds by December 31st, 2024, and we need to spend them by December 31st, 2026. Due to these deadlines, I have been working with our department heads to move along those different projects that I had previously mentioned to you in October. So if you take a look, you will find different updates from the projects. They'll show you which ones have actually already been completed, which ones have started, and also prospective timelines for other projects. If you have any questions regarding these projects, at any time, feel free to give me a call. The only real difference when it comes to some of the rules that the government gave us with the Treasury is before they had a really complex formula to figure out what cities could use for lost revenue. They made it extremely simple for us, and they said, forget the formula, you can choose, take $10 million out of your revenue that you're getting from us, and you can just put that to government services. So that'll, anything that just basically facilitates the reporting. So we're not changing the projects, we're just changing how we report it just to facilitate reporting for our finance department. That was the only big change that really affects us with reporting. And once again, these projects were chosen based off of discussions with department heads to identify capital projects that are necessary that haven't been done due to lack of funds. So a lot of these projects you'll probably, if you've ever watched any of the budget meetings from the last few years, that's where you'll listen to the tidbits when we're like, we have this important project, but where are we going to find the money? So this was very helpful, so we can actually accomplish some of those. And two of those projects I'm going to talk about right now, we put forward an SQPD, which is Statement of Qualification and Performance Data. If you look within your council packets, you'll see a communication from me referring to this. And this was actually for a few of the projects that we mentioned with the ARP. Those projects that we advertised to get statements of qualifications and performance were both for the fire department north garage and also the PD expansion and parking lot. So I was in charge of the police department one, and Chief Thomas Hayes, who will speak shortly, was in charge of the one that qualifications sent out for the firehouse garage. For the PD, we actually sent out to about a little over 20 firms. We actually had 11 attend the actual walkthrough at the police department, and we actually received 7 responses, which I was very happy with. We actually had a committee created from the city administration, the mayor, police department, persons on our 911 board, our IT department, public works, and fire department, as all of these would work with those projects. It would be integral to make sure that everything runs smoothly from beginning to end. This committee went ahead and reviewed all of the submittals, and we narrowed it down to 3: Harbor, Studio GC, White, FGM Architects. When we were reviewing these, we had 5 basic criteria that we were looking at: the familiarity
Thanks, Ruth. Chief?
Hi, everybody. Well, quite simply, it's exactly what it is. It's a garage. Initially, this was slated to be done back around 2010. There was plans drawn up for a pretty similar type building to what we're doing now. Due to a lack of funding, we were unable to complete that project. Fast forward to the ARC funds, and we published an SQPD also, and we received 5 responses. Our team narrowed that down to 2 qualified firms, one being Arbor Studio GC and White. We interviewed both, and unanimously we chose Harbor for our project. So when it was decided that Studio GC was chosen for the PD project also, it just made sense to combine the projects and save some money for the city. So, what's this space gonna do for us? Well, first of all, as I've been to budget committee meetings and expressed, we have 3 certified emergency vehicle technicians on our staff. What we do is we do all of our maintenance on our vehicles in-house, so we don't send those out to different shops. It saves us a lot of money. We've actually done studies, I've presented them at budget committee meetings. Recently, for example, Lieutenant Glazer and firefighter Contreras have replaced an engine in a vehicle, which resulted in thousands in savings and prevented the need for purchase of a new vehicle. That's one example. We do not have sufficient storage or space for the maintenance. So that's what this use will be for: safe vehicle storage, some maintenance. For example, in the future, our vehicles do not have a lot of miles on them, but what they do have is a lot of engine hours, and that's why we go through vehicles quicker. So our plan for the future is to be able to change out motors, engines for these vehicles, which we've done one already. So the cost savings for an ambulance, for example, ambulances now are close to $190,000. So if we can extend the life of an ambulance by 5 to 7 to 10 years, we're saving hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this is going to help us get that. We also have plans for the future of possibly generating some revenue by doing some preventive maintenance for surrounding communities, their fire departments. So that's what this project will do for us. Is there any questions?
Has anybody visited the South Firehouse? Right now, a lot of this stuff is done at the South Firehouse, and the South Firehouse is way too small for what they need to do over there. So this garage is a big, important, of great importance for the fire department, so that we can clear that South Firehouse, and we can do it at this garage on the North House. So if you have a chance to visit the South Firehouse, take a look at how crowded it is over there with the equipment.
Yes, if you'd like me to take you over there.
So Tommy, is there any reason why this firehouse, this station can't be in the CAD area?
There's less room here than there is.
So in the north, you have that extra space, the green space next to it, correct?
Yes, what we're looking, the size would be about what that garage looks like now, with that space, if you've been there. We're looking at kind of duplicate that, so we'll be able to store a spare engine there, plus also be able to do the maintenance in the spare bay.
How many old model fire trucks do we have now? Because I think we just purchased 2 in the last 3 years, no?
We have 1 spare engine and 1 spare ambulance. Now, those are used, they're still in very good shape, we maintain them. Those are used in case there's something wrong with what we have running up now. So we don't have anything extra now. The 2 that we ordered, we're still 9 months away from both of them. And at that point, we'll be able to get rid of the oldest one, which we're starting to see high maintenance costs on. And we'll be able to put these in the service and get rid of the old ones. We'll sell an old engine for whatever we can get for it. It's usually only about $35,000, but still something.
Any other questions for Chief Hayes? Thanks, Tommy. Division Commander Oshner?
So our portion of this is something we talked about also during the last budget committee meeting. Is a large portion of the unfunded mandates that the state has put down on us with reference to training, access, and other qualifications that the police officers and dispatchers are now going to be required to do annually and semi-annually that we had not been doing in years past because they were not required. Typically, our police training would take 6 to 9 months to get everyone through the block of training that was required before. Now that block of training has expanded, and so has the timeline in which we have to do that. Some of it has to be done twice a year. We just simply don't have the facilities to do that. We try to use mobile training units. They simply don't have the facilities to do that, so in order to be compliant with the state mandates, we need expanded training facilities. A large portion of our expansion is for training, both for police and there's a portion for dispatch. We also have state mandated 988 coming forward where we're going to have mental health crisis responders that are going to be first responders on a lot of the calls. So certain calls are going to be forwarded to them first and then they would first respond, so we're going to need facilities for the social workers. We've already secured funding for those. We've already started the hiring process. We're out of room. We have nowhere to put them. So the three things that this addition to our facility is going to cover is going to be training, it's going to be social work, it's going to be dispatch. Dispatch portion of it, 21 years ago we moved in. Our dispatchers are working out of approximately 500 square feet. That's about 1/4 of what they should be operating on in today's standards. We're grandfathered in because we've been there so long, but we're operating on 1/4 of the footprint of the facilities that we should have for our dispatch. So the portion that's on the dispatch end of it's going to be training for them, expanding facilities for them, and also our fire requirements. We started our dedicated dispatch and we're doing fire thing. The EMD, sorry. Emergency medical dispatch we started a couple years ago. We have dedicated dispatch on the fire side that's doing emergency medical dispatch. And that's created the need to kind of partition somebody that's only doing fire. You get a call, for instance, that's a medical emergency, that person then stays on that call until first responders arrive there. Originally, 21 years ago, we built this police department, we built dispatch, we didn't have that. So everybody was kind of multi-purpose and they were able to kind of hand the call off and move on to the next thing. We don't have that anymore. We're also approaching legislative thresholds with whether or not we would be able to retain our own dispatch based on our population. Right now, we're over the threshold. In the future, that may or may not happen. So we're trying to make sure that we can keep that and maintain that on a local level. So those are a couple of the reasons why the dispatch center.
And expanding the dispatch would allow us to take in other towns that we can combine for population should that legislation expand, which would also bring in revenue for us then too.
A lot of the surrounding towns are smaller than we are right now. The legislation is, I think, set to hit 50,000 for consolidate, for required consolidation. A lot of the smaller municipalities already hit that with, I think, 25 already, what the last threshold was. And they had to combine services in order to operate out of one facility. Riverside is our nearby one to the west here. They do, I think, 5 municipalities now. And Cicero was the other centers. And we're hoping ourselves to also become one of the centers as we move forward with it. That covers the general overview of that. I know everyone's got the packet there. I know there's a lot to it, and I don't want to. Yeah, the parking lot part of this is parking lot was separate. So 2 of the projects here were going to be the expanded training facilities, dispatch, and the parking lot. They started out as 3 separate things, but they've all kind of merged into one. The committee that the administrator spoke about has determined that police department site is probably the best site to put all these things on. We looked at the other city-owned facilities and for logistic reasons, space reasons, parking, and some other things. They were just not suitable for our project. Police department has green space that was designated
questions for Commander Oshner? Okay, then I guess it's time for the gentleman from Harbor Studio GC.
Thank you, City of Berwyn, for this opportunity and taking the time to stay here. So, a little bit about Harbor. We're a 63-year-old business founded by my grandfather in 1959. He first started his career in World War II in Army Corps of Engineers, building runways in the Philippines for all our daughters to get out. So naturally, when he came stateside, he found a position working as project executive for the tollways, which led him to Oak Brook and meeting the gentleman that eventually to start a construction business. So 3 generations now, family operated. And,
I'm Craig Meadows with Studio GC. We're an architecture firm that is nearing on our 30th anniversary. We've been working with Harbor Construction for a long time. In fact, a little known fact, and we explained it as Zach worked for us as an intern and a young architect early in his career. Decided construction was the way to go, and we've been a great partner ever since then. The firm was started by Mike Gilfillan and Pat Callahan, and we're about 45 employees, vast number of licensed architects with lead certification. We bring to the table kind of an ability to kind of really kind of express and figure out creative ways of bringing value to the project. And so we're really excited about the opportunities that are here, the kind of challenges. And one of the things we look for in our interviews as we're working with people is really, is it a good fit? And we really felt like we had a great dialogue in the process. It was very collaborative in our discussions. We always started designing the buildings and the elements right there. So it was really fantastic to see. Of our firm, we'll go over a little bit more, but specifically, we've been involved in the Naperville 911 Center, Leadview Fire Station, Morris PD specifically working with Harbor on that, as well as the Sycamore, and then a couple of projects that we have ongoing right now, which is the new fire station for Morris, and then just did Woodridge Police Department, Public Works, and Mokina Fire Police Station as well.
So, police stations are nothing new to us. We've been building police stations for about 40 years now. Many projects as Craig mentioned. Currently, CATC and us are collaborating on a project in Woodridge, a 13-acre site, multi-phase. I think there's 4 different structures. Right, we can handle a lot of different things, a lot of tasks all at once. We also have previous fire experience, over 63 years, working up to our 60th year, servicing the public sector. So this list is just within, I think, the last 5 years, to just show you some of our current workload, all within the public sector.
So my job is to come up here and talk a little bit about each scope, but the chief and others did a great job on it, but so I'm going to kind of keep it pretty simple. As was mentioned before, the police station building is expansion of the 911 center, for instance, as well as expansion of the police station for enhanced services that includes potential court spaces, definitely training spaces, and then police support services like social work and other elements like that. One of the things we are looking at, just to kind of give you a hint, we identify kind of the parking area, and then on the left side is the potential expansion for the police, on the right side is identified for the 911. The garage space for the fire station, they demoed, as you guys well know, I'm sure, a house on the left side there of that image, and what that's showing is kind of rough massing at this point in time of what we're looking at, where there's a singular bay for storage of an engine, and the secondary bay for the maintenance area, and then the last little skinny strip, which kind of mirrors part of the architecture of the existing building, is a storage area facility. But we have a lot of work to do from a design perspective, so I'm sure what we bring next time will be a little bit different.
So again, we want to thank you for this opportunity and appreciate your time as well. And want to applaud you to the city. It's been so great so far working and communicating with your staff so far. So thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions? Any questions about the projects in general? They've been brought forward in the past, especially at the Budget Committee meeting, so if anybody has any specific questions that you want to ask. If not, as City Administrator Siaba Green stated, if you do have questions when you get through the material, please give us a call here, we'll go over it. We put a lot of hours, a lot of work into picking somebody that we thought was a right fit for the City of Berwyn, as well as for the projects that we were doing. And we believe Harbor, with their consolidation with Studio GC, just fit right into the picture. And it has been great communicating with you gentlemen, and I think we're going to have some good projects here. So, nobody has any questions? Alderman, you look like you have a question, no?
No.
Okay. All right. With that being said, then, I have nothing else for open. I would ask for a motion to go into close for pending litigation.
So moved?
Second.
Lennon by Ernella, closed for pending litigation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to go into the small room for the close, and the camera's going to stay on, so.
Nope, right there. You got it right the first time.
7, 8, oh, that's right, 7. Scott is 1.
This professor was very interesting to us too. And of course, you know, he worked with
Just throwing out some flags.
really
Still waiting to hear back from those
disadvantaged
people.
where they had no services, or they had no feeling of connectedness with their neighborhood, right? And so, you know, he got off the train, he took the train, and got off the train, and went to, and it was like, thanks for so much. What he tried to do, but it was a community spirit thing that I was trying to
Right, well.
work on. But, you know, even if it's in an ugly lot, people buy some racing grass, you know, it's something similar. I ordered some like that.
Yes, sir. Yes. Oh, great. That'd be great. Thank you so much. Okay. Word. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
been good. It's been doable. So I've been able to manage the semester, and I finished off really good. So I'm excited. I'm at the University of Michigan, so in Ann Arbor, yeah. So it's been, I love it out there. The community is super, super nice, and we have a good Spanish community over there. So definitely it was scary at first to come to PWI, but shortly after I found my class, I lived in Korea. So Grand Rapids is like all the way up north, like northwest. So like I'm not that far. I'm by like Detroit area, so like people from Michigan always do this. So like if you imagine like this is Michigan, like Detroit's around right here and Grand Rapids is right here. And then the Grand Rapids is like all the way. Yeah, yeah.
He can't hear you. He's zoned on his device. He called you like 5 times. You should go over to that wall and look at that switch and wonder what the heck it powers. It's behind it's alongside the coat rack in your Scott's arm. It's a thing from the past. No one seems to know what it does. Maybe you turn it in like that Avenger movie. Half of us disappear or something. I love the Avengers.
Clerk Paul, can we call the council meeting to order, please?
Lennon.
Here.
Boywood.
Here.
Lejean.
Here.
Fate.
Here.
Pabon.
Here.
Ruiz.
Here.
Arenella.
Here.
Carmichael.
Here.
8 present, Mayor.
Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and please remain standing? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could just keep in our thoughts and prayers, the men and women we have on the street tonight. Thank you. If anybody wishes to address the open forum, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address.
Hello, my name is Lamia Price, and
Excuse, is that mic on? Is the green light lit?
yes,
Okay, good. Okay.
my name is Lamia Price, and I'm the president of Junior State of America. This is my vice president, Yadira Padel. This is my chief of staff, Nyla Lawson, and this is also my fundraising director, Matt Corey. In partnership with the City of Berwyn, Morton West Junior State of America, otherwise known as JSA, and additional organizations will be hosting an event for Juneteenth from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. at Prosco Park. We, as JSA, will be assuming the role of guides into what Juneteenth is and how it impacts us as youth in the city of Berwyn. In addition, this event will involve guest speakers detailing topics about Black entrepreneurship and wealth in Black culture. Also, art such as presentations by local financial agents and local artists, of which they will enable a new art piece. Furthermore, we ourselves will speak about the history of this historical date and how it's transitioned to what it is today. Spaced in between speakers will be different activities for families like arts and craft stations, beanbag tosses, and more. If you'd like to support us through any sort of donation in any form, please contact our teachers' advisors, Jonathan Carrillo at jcarrillo@jsmorton.org and Pauline Guman at pguman@jsmorton.org. For more updates, please refer to the city calendar and /or media pages.
Thank you very much for your participation. I know Alderman Carmichael has been working with the city also as a conduit to try and work this all together as one big event. So I want to thank you guys for your cooperation in making this one solid event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Diane Weiner, 3132 Winona. I do have some photographs of which I'll be speaking about tonight. Would I be able to pass them to council members?
Yes, you
and
can.
Mayor? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, they are part of the letter?
Did you have it attached to your letter, Ms. Weiner?
Yes.
I may? I'm not
Yes.
sure. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I wasn't sure, but I appreciate that. Good evening again, and thank you for your attention. Dale Carnegie, in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, wrote about how everyone seeks to feel good about themselves. And if you could do this for another person, you could gain a friend for life. The same principle works in city governance. Residents want to feel good about their community and their decision to invest their homes and neighborhoods. If residents feel good about where they live, then they work to maintain their properties, they speak positively about their city, and they stay for life. I am here to speak about a problem of equity in our city that tarnishes the impression of a proud, well-maintained city and diminishes our quality of life. The asphalt paving that has replaced concrete public walkways in the city, most recently at the corner home on 32nd and Wisconsin, stigmatizes homeowners and unfairly penalizes homes situated on corners. It mars the otherwise harmonious look of a residential block. So all residents are impacted. And asphalt has negative environmental effects, emitting toxic atmospheric aerosols in hot, sunny weather, and particles that crack, break off, and pollute the water and ground soil, according to an article on environmental effects of asphalt in the online publication science.org. When my neighbors and friends in Berwyn talk about this problem, everyone agrees we can and should do better. This is not a criticism of any public officials. We know the work is endless and difficult. This is a plea to correct a problem. Please replace these toxic and discriminatory asphalt sidewalks in Berwyn with concrete so all residents benefit equally from uniformly maintained public walkways. We have faith in your access to beautification, environmental improvements, or infrastructure grants, revenue from slot machines and taxes residents pay, and the city can recover the funds when the home is sold or when the title is transferred. You have the power to make people feel good about their decision to invest in Berwyn and to improve equity and civic pride for a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Susie Donnelly. I am at 31st in Wisconsin. I wanted to revisit a very lengthy email I sent to you and did not have a response from. Lengthy. There was a lot to go through. But I want to revisit this now that weather has cracked and it's 80 degrees out and people are wanting to go out on their bikes. As you know, or may know, I run Bike Walk Berwyn, which is a Facebook group, and on there I have had multiple people reporting that people driving in our community are being violent and aggressive towards them. Violence and aggression, road rage, has escalated through the pandemic and into our current day. And right now, I'm very disappointed to see that on the agenda today, we are considering spending an extraordinary amount toward expanding parking for police cars, when I don't think that's truly necessary, using funds from the American Rescue Plan that is intended to help communities. We are in a mental health crisis. We are in a physical health crisis. We are in an aggressive crisis. We are in a climate crisis. And I think the choice to spend funds on parking for automobiles instead of on mental health support, education around safe driving and the fact that the roads belong to everyone who uses them, regardless of the mode of transportation in which they choose, is essential. We should be teaching our kids from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade what bike and walking safety is, so that when our children become drivers and are behind multi-ton vehicles, they are not throwing drinks, slurs, revving their engines, charging down residents who are using scooters, bicycles, mobility support devices, and other things. It is your job, every single one of you, to hear what your residents are saying when they say that our streets are not safe for us to bike on or for us to use any other mobile device. I save $10,000 a year by not owning a car, and that doesn't include the gasoline. The state, like cities in the area, are looking at ways to give people gas discounts and free gas giveaways to drive more, which negatively impacts our climate, negatively impacts our children, negatively impacts our air we breathe, and raises the temperatures or at least affects our climate so that we go from 50 to 80 in a day rather than the gradual seasons that we once enjoyed. We have a choice of how to use these funds, and I ask you to seriously reconsider spending that yet again on another police initiative, more funding toward police department that does not help the majority of people. It helps a small select group when there are people who are being aggressively threatened outside of our elementary schools for riding their bike with their children. I mentioned before that 1/3 of our population cannot or chooses not to drive. And it is inexcusable for us to not allow them safe passage through our town. I'm asking you to educate. I'm asking you to train. I'm asking you to use literature and use paint, because even though paint is not protection, I can guarantee you that putting bike lanes onto our streets so that people know that I am allowed to be there is essential so that that young lady is not dead. One of the oldest families in this city has a member who was hit by a car while walking through this community. A child was hit by a car on, please forgive me, it was 37th and either Ridgeland or 37th and East. I know it's one of the corners that I've brought up many, many times that it is not acceptable. That whole south of Ogden is not acceptable, and there are high school students trying to get to Morton West and they cannot get there safely. And we are headed into summer, and when kids have to be chauffeured around by their parents, I can tell you who has to do it. And it's not the dads, most often. Women suffer financially, we suffer in time, we suffer in the mental load, we sacrifice left and right, and it sacrifices even more when we cannot give our children autonomy over their person because they cannot travel safely through our community. And that also includes the fact that legally in Illinois, when you turn 12 years old, you are not allowed to ride on the sidewalk. And that is not a request for us to change that law within our jurisdiction, because I think that is a problem in and of itself, because if the laws are not all consistent in all communities, when kids go from Berwyn to Oak Park or to Riverside and they have to change what is legal and what is allowed, that becomes problematic, because then drivers don't know what to do and cyclists don't know what to do. When I have brought up issues in intersections, I have been told, oh, well, just do this thing, which is an illegal thing, which causes drivers to get mad at me if I do. It is inexcusable for a city official or a former city official or any government of any level to tell me to break the law to be able to safely achieve crossing a road because you do not want to invest in my safety and my child's safety and every other student and every other adult in this community. In that group, I have people talking about I won't bike because I can't take the chance of getting hit by one of these aggressive drivers because my job depends on my physical ability to do it. And if I can't physically do it because somebody hits me, I can't make money and pay my mortgage, which causes us to lose a great resident. The trickle-down effect is massive, and I'm asking you, please, do not spend our money on parking for police cars when you can spend our money that was gifted to every community, but a significant chunk to our community, to help all of the people. And if we can please build a plan together, because I really do think that the mural idea on our streets and at our intersections could be one of those really powerful, impactful, low-cost things that could actually bring beauty and joy and delight and calm the mental stress that people seem to be going under while they're operating vehicles that are literally 1-ton, very dangerous objects that can take life. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, can everyone hear me? My name is Jane Cole. Thank you. First of all, this is my first city council meeting I've ever attended, so let me take this opportunity to thank all of you for all your hard work and service, because I know it's not an easy job to sit here and listen to all of us come up and complain. I just want to second what Diane Weiner came up to speak about with the asphalt sidewalks. I did a little Googling myself this morning. It doesn't appear cheaper. It doesn't last nearly as long. It seems like this was a Band-Aid fix, and I'm not even sure, I apologize, I'm not familiar with what the protocol is. I understand that we all get up to speak, but I'm not sure where the action comes back to us or what decisions are made or whatever you guys decide is going to be addressed. So if you do decide to address this, I would appreciate if you would let our alderman know. He could let us know. That would be great. Thank you. I just want to say real quickly, my husband and I moved here almost 18 years ago as a layover. We were looking for an affordable place. We had lived in the city for 20 years on the north side. We were looking for a place to raise a family. And one day he went out driving around and he called, and I found a house in Berwyn I thought that looked interesting, and he called me and he goes, "That's not the right house, but that's the right town." He went to City Hall and he stopped downstairs, I think, and asked somebody, "Hey, if I'm gonna move here and start a new family, what neighborhood should I go?" And the lady at the desk pulled out a map of Berwyn and circled Proxa Park. And she said, "This is the neighborhood you want to raise your family in." And we did. We raised 3 children, and we still live here. What started out as a layover, we fell in love with our neighborhood and with our neighbors. Honest to Pete. Some of them are here tonight. The others are here with me in spirit. But I love our neighborhood. I love Proxa Park, and I'm disappointed in some of the changes I've seen take place in our neighborhood, our beautiful neighborhood, over the last many years. The LED street lamps, for example, not a fan. I don't know if there's anything that can be done about it at this point. I understand it was a cost-saving measure. I'm not thrilled that on the other side of my block on Wisconsin, there was a house that was a plot of land in a multi-unit building, a sub-parcel was sold off and improved upon. I'm sure you all know about this. It's a monstrosity of a edifice. You know, I left the city, I left gangways in the city, and now on my very own block, I've got gangways again. A gangway is a path that's about 3 feet wide in between 2 houses. That's what I'm back now to Berwyn. So I hope and pray that you guys all remember what is so great about Berwyn, especially Proxa Park. It is the gem of the town, and it's going to continue to draw people only if we take care of it. So if there's something that we can do, please let us know. But we'd like your help in getting some of these things kind of back to the way they were so we can be proud of our neighborhood and our city again. I want to stay here another 18 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the audience? Yes.
Hello, my name is Lorelei or Lawrence, whichever you prefer. Donnelly. I live with my mom. I want to discuss the issue with people bullying other students in the schools, and when they call people some very horrible names, they don't do anything about it. I was called the F slur a couple times, and I reported it, and they closed the matter and didn't do anything about it. I don't know why they would do that, but I know that slurs are wrong to use, and I know that we should probably stop us openly allowing people to call people slurs. There's a person at my school that some person went up to them and they said something, I don't know what, and they were like, "I'm sorry, I know I've been becoming a bit more of a F slur." I just want to like kind of stop this type of speaking towards other people. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the audience? Mr. Director Schiller, did you want to address the sidewalks? I know Alderman Alicia just had to step out for a couple of minutes, but I know she's also bringing it to committee to discuss what we're doing with those two. But go on.
Yes. Bob Schiller, Director of Public Works. The sidewalks that are in question tonight are an issue that was raised to Public Works by the alderman as a major trip hazard. These sidewalks were deteriorated so poorly that they were an immediate danger. So what we did is we solved the liability issue temporarily so that we can either the resident can participate in our cost shared program, or we're going to continue to search for grants to fund the replacement of the sidewalk. But we don't install asphalt sidewalks on a permanent basis. They're put in for the safety and liability of the walking public in a temporary measure until we find the funding to be able to do it.
And hopefully you'll discuss that in the Public Works Committee with Alderman Ruiz.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Alderman, anything for open forum? Okay, hearing none. Item C1, please.
Item C1 are the minutes of the regular city council meeting of April 26, 2022.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from the regular city council meeting of April 26th.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Aaronella to approve the regular council meeting minutes of April 26, 2022. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item D1, please.
Item D1 are the results of the Citizens Online Incident Reporting System bid.
I will make that motion, but first I would like to explain it. This is a web-based citizen incident online reporting system. Implementing this system will allow residents to file non-emergency and non-in-progress police reports. Additionally, the system will allow residents to file other complaints pertaining to other city departments and entities, such as complaints regarding tree, garbage, rats, graffiti, building and parking complaints. By implementing this type of system, this should eliminate that amount of time that an officer has to be removed from actively patrolling our streets. The Berwyn Police Department requested bids for this project and received 2 responses, one from LexisNexis and one from BrainCell. After reviewing the submitted bids, it was determined that LexisNexis was significantly less expensive and fulfilled all of the department's needs. The bid form and contractual agreement has been reviewed and approved by the City of Berwyn's legal department. Therefore, I move that we concur with Police Chief Zamaglia on awarding the Citizens Online Incident Reporting System contract to LexisNexis at an initial cost of $1,315 a month, with the cost of the first 2 years allocated through the American Rescue Plan Act.
Before we move to second, can I just ask a question about
the current
Kenneth
system?
Fellows is behind you, so
Yeah.
yeah, he can answer that.
The system, right, as it is, you had shared that there's going to be other ways to maybe report different incidents, whether it's tree situations or
Right.
rat issues. How is that being set up with the current ways people reach out for those incidents? Are they going to be integrated? How does that information get to the appropriate departments? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Are you talking about outside of the police department?
Yeah, so let's say I'm calling because there's a tree branch that's about to fall. I'm trying to get in touch with somebody.
Sure.
Maybe I'm reporting that, right, or a rat sighting. How does that information get into other departments? Is it going to be integrated? There's a lot of other ways people reach out for those things, so I just wanted to kind of see how you all are doing that on the back end.
I mean, in departments outside of the police department, I don't have a lot of knowledge on. My guess is a lot of those are probably done via phone calls. And obviously with a system like this, it brings technology into it, where a lot of people feel more comfortable sending emails than they do potentially making phone calls. So a system like this will give our citizens and residents the opportunity to make these, again, non-emergency type complaints, through this online portal. It will not take away phone calls or even police coming to their homes if that's what our residents want. It just gives our residents and our citizens, another opportunity to be able to report these types of incidents.
For some of those issues you brought up, Alderman, we do have reporting forms on our website also. So while it may not be integrated with that, it can be distributed if they get a call of that nature, through this system. They can then send it to our website information. But most of it, as he said, does come in with phone calls, but we do have that reporting form there.
Okay.
This is not necessarily interactive.
It says in the letter here that additionally, the system will allow residents to file other complaints pertaining to other city departments, such as complaints regarding tree, garbage, rats, graffiti, building, parking complaints, just to identify a few. So I think the question is, if this system is intended to do that, what that integration is going to look like with the city, or will there be like a redundant service that the city has one?
I don't think it's going to be redundant service. It's going to have to be integrated at some point so that, as I said, gets sent from there to those other areas, to those departments that are necessary in that area.
So the police are going to be doing like, the distribution of those individual reports based.
It's just a matter of forwarding it, really.
So I would ask the same question. I think that what they're saying is we have portals now where you can report items, and it would be nice if it does integrate with our current system through IT or through the different departments, so it can be automatic.
And that's
I know
well said,
police,
but the problem is when the police are on the street, they're getting those very same complaints. And instead of wasting an officer's time on the street taking those complaints, they could do it through this system, and it could be sent then to the necessary department.
I mean, I understand that, because I know you guys get calls for a tree that's down or a rat, because I know residents call me, we'll just say I called the police department because I had a rat in my backyard. Well, it's, so we hear that as well. So it'd be nice if it does integrate, and if it is a smooth transition from, police to, say, the building department, blight, or whoever it's gonna be.
So I don't understand, how is this gonna prevent police officer, these calls are actually going to the dispatch center, correct? Currently, the way the calls come in are going to the dispatch center.
So I've obviously over the years, attending some of the meetings that, the board meetings, a lot of topics that come up are ways that we can keep officers on the street, obviously actively patrolling our community, keeping it safer. So a system of this nature, being able to have our residents make these lower priority, non-emergency type calls, it allows the officers to stay on the street and actively patrol, and the citizens will make these reports online.
But I don't understand how these calls prevent you all from being on the streets, or delay you, or hold you up in any way. Because they go through dispatch, and a lot of times dispatch is the one that is forwarding them to the appropriate departments, no? Or do I not
An officer
understand
has to make that initial report. We do have a phone line that we're currently operating that started in the pandemic. But again, no, and officers are out there handling these calls on the street. If like I said, if someone's car is broken into or things like that, the officers are going out to the home still.
So
I'm sorry, was someone else on top?
If a resident calls to report like rats or something, are they going to be directed to use this system instead to report something like that, or like? I'm just confused because it's like the rat thing in here, but
And
there's
again,
no integration yet.
The system is customizable, and again, if these types of complaints, if you don't want to integrate in that system, we don't have, it's not a requirement as well. We can keep it strictly for police reports. Again, it was just part of the thought process in regards to the system was being able to bring more entities into it, considering it's, part of the system, or at least it can be part of the system.
And so this would be like a secured encrypted system.
Oh, yeah.
So more security than the one that exists currently on the city website to report general issues?
That's through FormStack. I don't know the security features of FormStack, but they have all the security features that Nexus provides.
Okay.
But I don't know FormStack.
Okay.
So this could be something where it's in stages. The first stage is just reporting items to the police department, and then possibly looking at it expanding to other services throughout the city. That's what I'm hearing.
Yep.
So the system is required, but you're just adding a bonus to it by adding this extra component to it? Is that what you're saying? Or the system is specifically for the non-emergency matters?
That's what it was designed for, yes. But you can add these other components to it if need be. These other.
So do we have to upgrade the system we currently have? Only if
We
we
don't
want
have a
to
system. We don't have a system like this.
We don't have that, okay.
This would
Yeah,
almost
so this would
replace
be
that FormStack.
totally different entity than the one that you report on the website now. This would be completely separate. From
We have the FormStack now, and this would probably replace that once we can integrate it all.
Oh, so we
would
would
have to use the FormStack.
The form stack is actually the city website.
Correct.
Thing, right?
Correct.
And then will we need more personnel when we do this? Will you need to increase your personnel or staff?
No, the way that the system works is depending on the RMS system, it actually can be integrated into an RMS system that the police department either has or maybe getting down the road.
Thank you.
And then what kind of follow-up can residents expect when they file a report through this?
There's actually, it's all part of the procedures built within the program. There's actually email interaction between the person making the report and the officer that is receiving it. So if they need additional, like if there's pieces that are missing or some information, there'll be email communication back and forth in order to be able to complete it.
And those would be encrypted emails as well?
That's my understanding of it.
Okay.
So like videos, say camera, video, stuff like that?
All that
can
can
download
be,
into
all
it?
that can be sent through it, correct.
Right.
Any other questions? All right, we do have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Leja, seconded by Lennon, to concur with the recommendation, provide the Citizens Online Incident Reporting System through LexisNexis, the first 2 years paid through the American Rescue Plan Act dollars, and agreeing to the contract, which automatically renews 12 months at a time for $13.15 per month. All those in favor, on the call of the roll.
Lennon?
Aye.
Boywood?
Aye.
Leisure?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Pabon?
Nay.
Ruiz?
Nay.
Aaronella?
Aye.
Carmichael?
No.
5 ayes, Mayor. 3
Motion
nays.
carried. Item D2, please.
Item D2 are the bid results and award for the dispatch expansion in the North Firehouse Garage expansion.
I move that we approve the attached agreement with Harbor Studio GC to perform design services for the city in the amount of $534,928.90 and bidding and construction management as per the attached proposal.
Second?
Motion by Leja, seconded by Lennon, to concur with staff and approve the attached agreement with Harbor Studio GC to perform design services in the amount of $534,928.90 and the bidding and construction management as per the fee proposal as presented in committee of the whole. All those in favor, on the call of the roll.
Lennon?
Aye.
Boywood?
Aye.
Leisure?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Pabon?
Nay.
Ruiz?
I'd just like to comment that I really appreciate all the work and effort that the city administration did with creating the list of projects to use our ARP money. but I'm just feeling like these projects, I appreciate our police department and our first responders and everything they do, but I honestly don't believe that these projects should be primarily when we have a lot of other city issues that we need to work on and a lot of citizens' concerns that should be addressed, so I have to say nay.
Aaronella?
Aye.
Carmichael?
No.
5 ayes, Mayor, 3 nays.
Motion carried. Item E1, please.
Item E1, communication from the Berwyn Development Corporation regarding a TIF request from the Berwyn Public Library.
I will make the motion to approve the Berwyn Public Library TIF request and approve to use the use of Harlem TIF monies in the amount of $14,530 to install a lighted crosswalk on Riverside Drive.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Fate, to concur with the recommendation and approve the Berwyn Public Library's TIF request in the amount of $14,530 to install a lighted crosswalk on Riverside Drive. All those in favor, and call the roll.
Lennon?
Aye.
Boywood?
Aye.
Leisure?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Pabon?
Aye.
Ruiz?
Aye.
Aaronella?
Aye.
Carmichael?
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item E2, please.
Item E2 is an ordinance entitled an ordinance authorizing and approving a certain agreement of purchase and sale between the City of Berwyn and Chicago Title and Trust Company as trustee under trust agreement dated January 1, 2013 and known as trust number 800-236-1156 for the City of Berwyn, State of Illinois.
I will make the motion to adopt this ordinance, fix the necessary signatures, and send it on its way to passage.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Leisure, to adopt the ordinance, fix the necessary signatures, and place it on its way to passage. All those in favor, on the call of the roll.
Lennon?
Aye.
Boywood?
Aye.
Leisure?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Pabon?
Aye.
Ruiz?
Aye.
Aaronella?
Aye.
Carmichael?
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item I1, please.
Item I1 is a communication from Alderman Leisure regarding the Seventh-day Adventist solicitation change of date.
I move that we approve a request by the Seventh-day Adventists for their door-to-door ministry, July 17 through July 31, 2022, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. only.
Second.
Motion by Leisure, seconded by Fate, to approve the Seventh-day Adventists to conduct their door-to-door ministry, July 17th through the 31st, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. only. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item I2, please.
I2 is a communication from the Police and Fire Commission regarding the hiring and promotion previously authorized by council.
I move that we accept as informational the communication from Police and Fire Commission informing us of the last month's hires and promotions.
Second.
Motion by Leisure, seconded by Lennon, to consider informational the communication from Police and Board of Police and Fire Commissioners with the last month's hires and promotions. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item J1, please.
J1 is a communication from City Attorney Bertuca regarding settlement of 20-WC001817.
Be my motion to concur with Attorney Bartuca and settle case 20-WC001817 in the amount of $35,977.67.
Second.
Motion by Fate, seconded by Lennon, to concur with the recommendation and settle the workers' comp case in the amount of $35,977.67 as granted in executive session. All those in favor, on the call of the roll.
Lennon?
Aye.
Boywood?
Aye.
Leisure?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Pabon?
Aye.
Ruiz?
Aye.
Aaronella?
Aye.
Carmichael?
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item J2.
J2 is a communication from Finance Director Dash regarding the interest rate change for the Pelican Sweeper.
Be motion to consider as informational.
I think it's an amendment to the lease to,
Says consider informational.
does it really? Okay.
Yep.
All right, consider informational by Fate. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Lennon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It's a lower rate. It's an amendment of the lease. It
That's-
should have been.
That's what I thought.
Okay. Item J3, please.
Item J3 is from the Communication Division regarding the April report.
I make a motion to accept this as informational.
Second.
Motion by Carmichael, second by Lennon, to consider informational. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Arnella, to consider consent agenda as informational. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Alderman and committee meetings. Alderman Lennon.
Call to chair.
Alderman Roywood.
Call the chair.
Alderman Leisure.
I have a third ward quarterly meeting Thursday, May 19 at Pierre Banquet Hall, 3237 Harlem Avenue, from 6 to 7 p.m. and called up to chair.
Alderman Fate.
Call it, Chair.
Alderman Pabon.
I have a participatory budgeting meeting on May 30th, Tuesday, May 30th at 6 p.m. at Het Park Studio. That's on 19th and Kyler. Call the chair.
Alderman Ruiz.
I call the chair, but I'd just like to make an announcement that the Sixth Ward is doing their end-cap gardening this weekend, Saturday, May 14th, starting at 9 a.m. All are welcome to join us on 21st and, 18th and Westlake.
Alderman Arnella.
So I'm going to have my ward cleanup on Sunday, and also Jefferson is having their cancer walk tomorrow, 5 p.m. All are welcome. Call the chair.
Alderman Carmichael.
Call the chair. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion adjourned by Carmichael, second by Lennon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Yes.